if Roe gets overruled, Democrats are hoping it's going to give them an edge in November, but polls are saying it just won't happen. You know, when the ruling was leaked, I thought, thank goodness, this is something that maybe the Democrats can grab a hold of. They can energize their base, because they have to. They've got to energize their base. And when I saw Roe v. Wade, I thought, okay, good. This is the chance for them to do something with it. What's your take on it?
I had thought from the beginning, just because you and I have been doing this for so long, we have seen outrage after outrage in 20 years of doing this. We have seen so many things going all the way back to the Bush administration where we would sit and have conversations saying there's no way Republicans can walk away from this. They're done. And then a week later, nope, we're on to the next outrage.
Why is it? Why can't, look, first of all, the analysis that you and I have talked about, I think this is your theory, and if I can use it, tell me if I get it wrong. But your theory is when you start slicing the pie, that there simply is not enough gravitas in that pie to balance out the people who are indifferent. I mean, is that kind of your take on it?
It really is.
Explain it a little bit, because I think you got a great theory here.
Well, typically what happens whenever there is an outrage like this, and this is something to be outraged about, don't get me wrong, this is terrifying, but people will start to rationalize it. In the same way that George W. Bush, his approval rating, which was 50% his whole administration, is now up into the 70s. People forget. People forgive, people move on to the next thing. And even though this is going to impact people's lives, believe it or not, we've seen it time again, they will move on. The outrage will lessen. You can't just stay angry forever. And unfortunately, if the Democrats are counting on that anger carrying them all the way through November, they're already not paying attention. Democrats were lagging in enthusiasm for the midterms below 50%.
Yeah, there's a general malaise. That's how you describe it, wouldn't you?
And so this ruling comes out, or at least was leaked, and the enthusiasm only jumped up by about 4 points. And we're still about 9 points behind the Republican enthusiasm gap. So this moved the needle, sure. But is it going to affect the races in any way? Maybe one or two. I'm not kidding. We may save about 2 seats, is my estimate, from this ruling. It is not going to reverse the trends that we're already seeing.
I would take your prognosis over anybody out there calling shots, because I know what your prognosis has been year after year on issues like this. And I think you're right. Look, isn't it Carville word? It's the economy, stupid.
Yeah.
James Carville said that's how we're going to elect Bill Clinton. It's the economy, stupid. And every time you get away from that, you allow the Republicans to come in and talk about inflation, about gas prices, about supply chain problems, about Ukraine and how that's expanding, about potential recession that's already on top of us, about this border problem, about the wokeness problem. Those are all, everything I just gave you, are the Republican talking points. And we see them every single day because we have to read the right material along with the left material, and we have to somehow move it to the middle. But these talking points are so easy to get after. And I think if I'm hearing you right, you're saying that there's just not enough oomph in the whole Roe v. Wade issue to move that many votes.
Right, and the reason for that, and again, this is unfortunately a wake-up call for people on the left, is this doesn't drive voters. Because we've seen it, obviously. If it drove voters, Trump never would have won. Biden would have won by even bigger margins, because those were the issues where Democrats were saying, look, we got to protect the Supreme Court. In 2016, there was an open Supreme Court seat.
Yeah, wow, good point.
And they were talking about Roe, and it still couldn't get them out there.
That is a
So we have already seen the history of this. And again, this is a life-changing decision that is going to ruin a lot of women's lives. But when you look at the electorate, and I'm not being left or right here, look at the electorate, half men, half women. This isn't going to move the men. When you look at the aging part of the electorate that shows up in elections bigger than any other demographic, this issue doesn't affect them either. Yeah. So they may be mad about it, but at the end of the day, when they're marking their ballots, this isn't on their mind.
It's the economy, stupid. Yep. It's that we can't get supplies. We can't get, our gas is now $5 a gallon, whatever it is, whatever it'll be by then. It's real money issues. Look, I thought this is important. 72% of independents and 71% of swing state voters believed that the abortion issue, the rewrite of the abortion issue that was taking place in Congress, where they tried to make it a statute, to legislate it, they said it went too far. Okay? Now, I got to tell you something. That tells you a lot right there. I'm hoping that somebody will get behind this and figure out how to sell it a little bit better than it's been sold.
Yeah.
It doesn't sell with people screaming at each other on the streets and throwing things at each other.